The Disneyland Resort is bringing back a fan favorite. At least we thought it was a fan favorite. Season of the Force returns, but is the demand there? We'll talk about it next on That Park Place. Well, hello there in my best Obi-Wan Kenobi voice. My name is Vash Sky here, and joining me now is Jonas J. Campbell. Jonas, we have you back in, and we are so excited to have you back.
So good to be here, and thank you very much for having me back on this fine channel you have here, Pat.
Well, thank you. Hey, look, listen, I'm still the Wookiee co-pilot. All right, I'm not taking over the job. That's not what I'm doing. But sometimes Chewie does have to, pilot the Falcon. So hopefully, I do you proud there, boss.
That's true. Very good, and thank you. And I would like for you to bypass the compressor that was put in by Unger Plot.
Yes. Maybe I will get my own Rey so that she can do that for me. But for right now, we're talking about Seasons of the Force at Disneyland over here. Let me go ahead and share my screen. This is from the Mice Chat staff. Basically just Dusty Sage, but Mice Chat says, Disneyland update, new gates, blooming bayou and pink trees. So they produce a Monday update every single beginning of the week. And that is basically a rundown of everything that happened over the previous week, the weekend, and so forth. However, they had a little blurb about Season of the Force right here that I thought was very, very interesting. It's about halfway into the article, I believe. Season of the Force. There will be some overlap between Disneyland festivals. Season of the Force Star Wars Celebration starts April 5th, a few weeks after Pixar Fest opens, and runs through June 2nd. So pretty good so far. And says here that they'll be ushering in the return of Hyperspace Mountain, plus themed food and beverage offerings in Tomorrowland and Galaxy's Edge. But we're most looking forward to the new Star Tours destinations and Star Wars music all over the fireworks when you watch Galaxy's Edge. Shouldn't it always be this way? I think a lot of people were, they were wanting Star Wars Galaxy's Edge to host music for the fireworks because that's such a great prominent location for it. Mm-hmm. It's something that necessarily Disney Hollywood Studios can't actually duplicate, which I think has always been an inhibitor for that. But it's such an awesome venue. I'm surprised they didn't do it before.
The Star Wars shows that they did at Hollywood Studios that were based around the Chinese theater, there were some of the best fireworks shows I've seen at any Disney park. The lightsaber effects that they were able to pull off there were so good, spectacular, and it sounds like they're never coming back, which is a tragedy. If they can do even a fraction of that level of performance inside of Galaxy's Edge, I would be excited.
I do agree. I don't know if projections will be part of it. I mean, I really hope that one day it is. However, just to get at least music back there and not have it be silent with these explosions going off overhead, that would be cool. Disney's done some really great stuff with Star Wars in the past, but lately, ever since the sequel trilogy, I don't know, they've just been so rigid about, the story or the theming or whatever, that they've really stripped it from a lot of the fun that Star Wars and Disney used to have together with, the Star Wars, I think, weekends or the Star Wars celebrations that used to occur in Disney's Hollywood Studios. It's really been a shame, and I think that's starting to kind of grate on people because, well, Mice Chat says this, there will also be 8 nights of extra cost after-hour parties called Star Wars Nights. In the past, the Star Wars after-hour events have been among the most popular of the year, so much so that Disneyland doubled the number of nights and raised the price. The result? Only 1 of 8 nights has sold out so far. So this is interesting. Mice Chat's completely right here. These nights used to sell out almost immediately. And so, with anything that sells out very quickly, when you have limited supply and demand is high, well, you raise the price. But might they have gone too far? Well, that's what the contention here with Mice Chat is.
Can I just ask you here, those prices that they're listing on that calendar, that is not the price of getting into Disney for the day. That is the price of just the after hours event, that they will kick you out if you have not paid that additional amount if you happen to have a normal ticket to the park that day.
Yep. That's it exactly. This is for a 4-hour event.
Whoo!
Right? Starting at $159. That's a steep price for a 4-hour event. Here's how Disney describes the event. Enjoy character sightings, event-themed menu selections, and exciting entertainment, including a lightsaber instructional and the Fans of the Force costume cavalcade, a celebration that invites guests dressed in Star Wars costumes to join in a march down Main Street, USA. Whoopee. Plus discover special Star Wars themed photo opportunities, merchandise, and more. Does that sound like a $159 event to you? The lack of fireworks on event nights is a turnoff for sure. So on these nights specifically, when you pay your extra entry fee, you won't even get fireworks on that night. That's wild for a 4-hour event. That's really something.
And just to be clear, they bake in. It's not like they do fireworks for free here. They consider the price of this amazing fireworks spectacular in the price of the ticket. I don't think we would ever find out the exact figures here, but I would love to know if they said, okay, we're not going to do fireworks tonight. How much would they lower the cost of each one of those tickets? It's not ever happening. But I would love to know how much of that ticket goes specifically to the fireworks, which are an excellent opportunity to get onto the rides while everyone is pointed in one direction. Sure,
absolutely. But the fact that they're not even doing that for these events specifically, it's. I mean, if there was any value to be had with that price tag, I think a lot of it was stripped, and maybe that might be the cause of these things not selling out. Check continues. Disney is trying to ignite some interest by promising more than 20 new event treats. A group photo in front of Sleepy Castle, a lightsaber instructional at It's a Small World, which if you've ever seen that before is it's something, and the appearance of Captain Phasma and her elite unit of stormtroopers. Do you think the problem is price, the offerings, Star Wars event fatigue? Interestingly enough, some combination thereof. We'd like to hear what you think would make this event a force to be reckoned with. I think this is very fascinating.
Get it? A force? Anyways.
Yeah, Dusty was trying to be cute there.
There's nothing wrong with that. I would do the same.
Absolutely.
And as far as the Phasma marching around, that's actually kind of a cool look inside of the parks.
Absolutely.
While they wasted that character, as they wasted so many characters in that second movie onward, I do think the image of the silver-plated Captain Phasma and all those First Order stormtroopers, it is kind of cool. Other than the fact that it isn't the original design of the stormtroopers or even the clone troopers. That's really what I want to see. I want to see clone troopers wandering around Galaxy's Edge.
They used to do this with their Star Wars celebrations at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I believe it was called Star Wars Weekends, and it was so. They were so awesome. They were so cool, and anybody could show up. They didn't really add special pricing or special ticketed events for those things. It was just you just showed up in your Star Wars regalia and saw.
That was the time to be there. It was the time that Billy D. Williams was going to be there, but he canceled on me that one time. And well, what do we have here? A very disappointed fan, but that's okay. I forgive you, Billy D. Williams.
Which is very interesting because didn't he say he'd recently just do anything for a paycheck?
Well, he also said he's the only Lando Calrissian, didn't he?
I can't argue with that. But please, comment below what your thoughts are about this. Does this seem like an enticing event for you? Hey, maybe even the Star Wars faithful. Maybe they're a little bit shaken by this. I know that there's been some interesting stuff happening in the Reylo space, which is pretty crazy even today. So
there were interesting developments in the Reylo space.
Yeah, there was this this big old battle back and forth between whether or not Kylo should come back, and it's crazy. Some people are still passionate, without question. It's just, is this passion necessarily sustaining, especially for the next film coming up? And as Maestro even said, is there Star Wars fatigue? Please let us know in the comments below right there. If you did really like this video, well then please go ahead and share it out to your friends who maybe they can comment on this and see what's actually going on here. And like and subscribe if you haven't for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.